was wondering myself.
It's just that I couldn't see it before.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. I get that one back in April. I'm signing. I'm making whoever signing a contract.
Is that the truck that we made? Holy cow! It is a big truck. I was like, just leave your keys on there.
All right, good morning.
I like
Call the
big truck.
Infrastructure Committee to order. Notice the meeting was posted on October 20th. Item 1 is to approve the minutes of October 10.
So moved.
Second.
Sorry. Got it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Item 2 is our third floor improvements at JJC. Hannah, is this you, Keith, Stacy?
Go forward.
Anything?
Nothing new. We have a meeting set tomorrow with DHS and Keith and his staff. We're going to do a walkthrough with them and look at their plans, but nothing new so far.
Okay. Is there a motion to receive that update?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3 is discussion of HVAC issues on the third floor of the courthouse. Anything?
Ninth floor of the courthouse.
Ninth floor, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Ninth,
right.
yeah.
I have a question. So Keith, we've got 3 more meetings that you'll have a buy on this, but the 4th meeting from this meeting, you'll have a plan for us to get air conditioning going on the 9th floor. That's not on temporary air, it'll be permanent air. Is that correct?
I hope so, yes.
Okay.
We're making repairs to the system as it exists today. The weather's helping a little bit, but you know, if it warms back up after this kind of humidity, it could be uncomfortable up there. So
Yeah, but I'm asking the plan to have permanent air up there beginning next season, if you will.
what we're going to have to do is go out to bid, decide specifically on what type of design. My preference would be a chilled water air conditioning system with a hot water reheat using the pipings that exist, the piping that exists in the chase that serves the upper floors. Again, I don't have the staff to do this, to complete this in-house, and the dollar volume is going to require an architect in that process. So an architect, design, mechanical engineering involved, out to bid, and hopefully we can come up with some kind of a number that is reasonable and a timeline that's reasonable too.
Okay, yeah, I'm just going off of what you said at the last meeting, that you'd have a whole plan by the end of this year. So,
Well, the plan is, in the absence of people to do this, we're going to have to go out to bid, which is going to certainly take us above the $158,000 threshold, which drives hiring an architect, who in turn hires a mechanical engineer. They develop specs and bids, a bid packet for us, give that to Chantel. Then we go out to bid, find out whether or not we have any contractors that like us and want to work with us. That's the approach that we have to take at this point.
okay, but do we need to start on that before the end of this year?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll have a report to us before the end of the year then?
Yeah, I hope, yes.
All right, thank you.
Right. Anything else? Motion to receive his update.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Keith, you want to talk about our elevator progress? Item
We're
4.
making some. We're progressing, and by every indication, they should turn over the A elevator to us next month, at which time they'll take down the B elevator and go through the same process with it.
Okay.
We do have on jury days to help with the traffic. Although we got off to a late start today, facility personnel manually operating the 2 elevators that serve the courthouse so that we don't have the door closing problems, briefcases, hands, feet, that kind of thing, which cause delays and problems.
Motion to receive report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
5 is a discussion on our new agreement with Vicinity.
We don't have an agreement with Vicinity, and just so you're aware, our HVAC bills are running approximately $100,000 a month.
Have we ever looked at, I know it's been asked before, what it's gonna cost to get our chillers and boilers back up and running?
Again, well, first of all, we don't have chillers. And
Yes.
secondly, the boilers that we do have been out of service so long, I wouldn't count on them for anything. Again, this would be the same approach: hire an architect, mechanical engineer, develop specs, go to bid, and see what comes back. And that, I'm certain, would be in the millions and millions of dollars.
So,
And after which you'd have to have technical personnel on each staff, on each shift on staff to operate that type of equipment.
so 5 years for a return of investment? Possibly.
You
I mean, if
know,
we're paying $100,000 a month right now, right?
I don't know what the capital costs would be in today's market, and also with energy prices like they are, you'd have to have a study done and look at that specifically, and then understand that circumstances are changing daily.
Yeah. I haven't seen them go down in quite a while,
Mm-mm.
if ever.
Rarely would you get any kind of an ROI or return on capital in 5 years. That's something you plan out for decades.
Anything else for Keith?
Nope, motion to receive.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
6 is an update on a capital project specific to the TIF 2. Scott, can you call your drawing up? All right, Scott's done a good job of converting the plans to three-dimensional, so everybody can kind of understand them. We get one shot at this, so all the stakeholders need to participate in this, if not today here, but come to our office so that we can get this right the first time. Because once we build it, that's it. We don't have much room to work with. We're doing the best we can with the space. What you're basically seeing is split entrance on the top of the picture, the public entrance. There's a lot more, come to a vestibule, there's a lot more stacking space than there used to be. Get people in from the outside. Only at the bottom of the page, entrance. Everybody still exits the same way that they do today through that. That'd be a dual entrance exit for everyone. It lets the sheriff's deputies move to the north, get out in the hallway to do their work. The stairwell coming from the tunnel is closed to the public. It's employee only. That's really the technical part of it. The rest is kind of the aesthetics. Big window right there in the middle, so the outside looks a little better. Let you review that for a second, ask questions.
The architects drew this or Scott drew this?
Scott, converted their plans to 3D.
So the architect came up with this plan.
Yes, it's an architect design plan in 2 dimensions. Scott converted it to 3 dimensions.
What's the percentage complete on these? Are we ready to go?
We're 95% complete. They're asking for our review comments back so they can final the plans. If there's any changes you want to make, changes to concept or changes to aesthetics.
So how are we gonna use a public entrance that we're dumping into an employee entrance? How are you gonna
They're only exiting together.
How are you gonna restrict? No, you've got a public entrance dumping into an employee entrance. Do you see it? You're coming out of the tunnel underground.
Which is private now only, right?
Coming out of the tunnel.
It's not private. It's gonna be employees only?
Yes.
Because it's not currently, okay.
It's not currently. There's some moving parts there. That's
Okay. I'm fine with that. We talked to the court clerk about juries and how he stacks them up down there.
we have not involved the court clerk at this point. We've involved the sheriff's office. They like the plan.
Okay.
And Keith has been working with the people that actually own the tunnel.
Yeah.
And we haven't got a final sign off from them, but we're working on that.
That's gonna be,
That's key to making this plan work.
yeah. See, that office is the first one to throw a flag on this plan.
Which office?
Court clerk. Because they use that tunnel, like on today, they stack jurors up down in the raceway downstairs instead of having them stand outside in the rain. They do the same thing when it gets cold out.
But if they bring them in through this building, they can turn around and access the tunnel. They can escort them down there and use it for stacking space.
So to Stace,
To a certain, depending on where we put the where we block it off.
to Miles's point, bearings on
The top is the north.
the tunnel entrance. So it appears that we have a glass wall all the way from where the employees would come up from via the tunnel and then enter into the employee area. It looks like that's a glass wall the entire length running north-south there. Is that correct?
Yes.
To Miles's question and to the use by the court clerk's office, isn't it conceivable that we could place a doorway there that could remain locked at all times except for when we are bringing jurors into the building?
You may be able to do something like that, but you just create a.
Wait, that leads outside?
No.
You remember one of the things we had originally
When
talked
you're
about?
inside.
Where would you place the door that would remain locked all the time that you're talking about?
Correct. It would be right here.
Yep.
That would funnel prospective jurors in. But that would require someone from the court clerk's office directing traffic at that point so that they don't come through the employee entrance. But
Whatever happened to us pumping out pushing the wall out, creating more space, putting the wall out to the columns? Seems like that would be an increase of space, and you wouldn't have to worry about stacking them up in a tunnel. Yeah, you could take out those. I'll call them flower beds.
5 feet space, but
Yeah, but if I pick up 5 feet for 50 feet, that's pretty considerable.
moving those outside walls though becomes an issue that is beyond the budget of this project. Keith's shaking his head yes.
Is that
is there abatement issue?
is that yeah? I was getting ready to say, because when we got the outside of the building, yeah, we had visqueen on the outside of our trailer for a good 18 months because of asbestos.
Yeah, the asbestos in that area is gone.
Yeah.
The asbestos from the exterior wall to the edge of the columns on the soffit is gone. You still have asbestos from the exterior wall towards the inside of the building.
Okay.
In any case, if you did anything above the ceiling, on the outside, you still have asbestos to contend with.
So Keith, are we dealing with asbestos to place that new window? That exterior window right there? And all the doors and everything else?
Everything that attaches or is secured to the deck, or even to steel girts or structural members of the ceiling, yes.
And that was accounted for in the.
Yeah, they're aware of it, and it's a bid item.
There is one issue I had with the set of plans, and we paid extra to have the architect and mechanical engineer address the HVAC concerns in each of the vestibules. Can I look at this area up here?
Yeah.
Up here. Plan view. There you go. The architect, the mechanical engineer suggested using the existing HVAC capacity that we have on the first and second floor. That's an issue because we have one set of machines that operate both the first and second floor. And if you come in to the building when the weather is extreme, it's always cold or hot down there at the entrance. I had asked for separate calculations for tonnage, separate systems for each vestibule. The tonnage he came back with was about 4, maybe 5 tons per vestibule. But rather than tie into the existing system, we need standalone systems that can operate like air curtains. If you've ever been into a Sam's and their produce section is completely open so people can walk in and out, they have a like system there that's in use, and that's
So did they work that into these plans, you say, or not?
not yet. Not yet. I voiced my displeasure with what was presented, and I think I hope we have some
They're
different.
making that change.
Yeah.
There's nothing new though in the, where the employees are coming in and out as far as, do we have adequate right now? Do you feel like for what we've got going on right now? Because we're adding a whole new entrance.
I don't know if it's enough, but it's much better than what we've had. And it does offer security for those people who are lined up. Also, the thinking is for jurors and people who have to line up to marshal in. The concourse does offer a more secure environment. The question is where you put a check station in the concourse, either at the bottom of the stairs somewhere along that corridor, or perhaps at the elevator lobby in Metro. Keep in mind that I've seen that corner in the concourse when you turn to go back towards, you down the steps, go to the end of the hall, turn back to the east to go east. I've seen that 3 feet underwater, so that's a contentious, not contentious, but something to consider.
How long ago did you
Not a
see
good
it?
place to fit the.
Just put anybody.
How long ago? Months or years?
Oh, years.
Okay.
But it was one flood that, it's flooded several times, but only once that I've been here to that degree. The elevator lobby in the bottom of Metro was about 8 inches underwater. And that corner was 3 feet, 3.5 feet or so underwater.
I'd say it's probably more than that.
Yep, I would too.
I would probably say it was a good 6 foot or more.
I saw one of
It
your
was
employees
3
go
foot.
swimming.
Yeah. Oh man, that was it was a big event. Mm-mm.
So they're making the changes for the HVAC,
Yeah.
and then the only other consideration is jurors.
Yeah, I've seen the jurors lined up down the first floor corridor, all the way back to the west door, which is an option. I've seen them in the alley between the two buildings.
There's a lot of empty space right across the.
I wasn't sure about the tunnel, if I've seen that or not. So there's other options, and we need to consider all those before we blow this plan up.
How much is budgeted for this?
$1 million. And then we added to it because it actually did qualify for the ARPA funding.
Yep.
But we're looking for any ideas. No idea is a bad idea. We need to consider it. You don't have a lot of room to work with, but we've got a little more than we used to.
Yeah, a lot of empty space across the hall with snack bar. If that's ever, I don't foresee that ever being successful. And even if we needed a snack bar, we could put it over here in the courthouse where the old one exists.
You talking about a pre-jury room or something?
I don't know. I think it'd be easier just to move the court or the all the books across from the north side of the hallway to the south side of the hallway.
Well, we're doing that. That's part of the project.
No. All the books from the north side of the highway
Oh, I see.
to the south side of the hallway. Because you've literally got Gaston's old office, a snack bar that has had multiple vendors in it and never worked. And then you've got more space than we know what to do with. It just does not. I mean, if the square footage matches up, it doesn't compute why we're not doing the simple.
That's right. You have the stairwell and the two bathrooms that take up space there. But certainly you could advantage yourself by moving as much of that across to the south side of the hall. And it wouldn't be much to change that plan. It's simply relocation of the wall.
Because of the stairwell, your new bathroom system down there with the family bathroom and all that.
Yep.
You got a little there, a pool door in the back to get to where the snack bar is.
I could open up quite a bit, the narrow corridor, because there were bathrooms framed in back there. Whatever.
We've got a little bit of time to have this reviewed. Well, like I said, I want all stakeholders to review it. The reason we have a little bit of time is because we've got to get Chantel up out of there to her place in the third floor to make all the dominoes fall. And we're actively working on that right now, but it's going to take a minute to get that.
What's the anticipated architect's timeline on construction? How long are they thinking this is going to take?
This project right here is probably about a 9 month to a year project once we get started.
So we don't have a lot of time. Clock is ticking. I mean, we need to get moving.
Right, but the thing holding us up is getting the purchasing,
So we're moving.
up to 3.
We got multiple tracks running.
Yeah, we're
we're just the space is being cleared, the next phase is, if they're 95% complete, what are the last minute changes, or are there gonna be more changes to this plan? And at this point, it's not a timeline on the architectural changes, other than, 14, 21 days. It's not massive amounts of time.
It's looking like we might be able to install Chantel upstairs in May,
Why can't they work
No,
from home?
we got
until-
plenty of time for architectural
We-
changes.
but
We still have to
we'd
go-
want to bid this a little ahead of that.
Yeah.
That's my point. When are we bidding it? And then,
The optimum time to bid it is probably late March. So then we get all of our construction contracts and everything lined up.
we know
And
how
ready to
estimates
go.
on construction time go though, right? Because there are a lot of variables. Some may be covered under ARPA, where if you can't get materials similar to CARES, I have to go back and look. But some of those contingencies are people just not showing up because they have jobs that are bigger. And so what we don't want to risk is such a tight window that we bump up against the deadline for completion. We need to build some time in there. I find myself a little bit torn, right? The purpose of this is twofold: to be able to spread people out who are coming into this building to conduct business on a daily basis, and to improve the security for our employees and those that are here, whether they're jurors, etc. And so I know that court process is important. That's not as frequent as those things that I mentioned just a bit ago. And we've been talking about this for a long time. I think you asked for solutions. I offered one potential, right? I think a conversation with Mike is appropriate. And then at the end of the day, we're going to have to weigh out all the factors. And it may come down that this is the most workable solution that there is.
So are you saying getting purchasing physically out of their space is a holdup? Is that what you're waiting on now?
That's what we're waiting. I mean, we're not waiting. You can go up there and see there's work going on. But
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking they worked from home during COVID. It's,
no, that's another out of the box idea. Good ideas like that, please stop by the office and we'll write them all down.
We're about to have some space and ICV available as well.
Yes.
I'll move to receive the digital document.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. How about discussion on receive the discussion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Scott, thank you. All right, 7 is our TIF 2 and TIF 2A budget discussion. Stacy?
There's no changes, but to just let you know, TIF 2, as soon as these design plans on the security are finished and turned in for reimbursement, TIF 2 will be over with. And then we'll only have TIF 2A left, and we really haven't started it yet. I mean, at budget board, we moved some money in there to seed it, and we're just waiting for projects to begin to occur. But it's going to be a while before there's really any activity in that budget.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 8 is our capital improvements list.
Yeah, I attached the latest one to your agenda. we're just tracking all these projects with this spreadsheet that most of you liked last time. And, answer any questions about it.
Hey, Stace, would it be too much trouble to ask you to take this same format and pull out all the ARPA-related projects and put that on a separate list?
No, because there's only 5 or 6 of them, so that'd be pretty easy.
And if we add more, just do it that way?
Yep.
Okay. You guys all right with that? Okay. All right, that would be something we'd like for the next go round.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Anything else for Stacy on this one?
Move to receive a report.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Aye. 9.
No need.
Sorry, got a vote. 9 is our discussion on potential uses of the old social services / TGA building.
What'd you call it?
TGA?
Oh.
Training General Assistance.
Or TGY. I'm like, wait. I lived out there my entire life. I don't remember that being a TGY. Nothing new.
Okay. All right, so we're still kind of waiting. All right. No action unless someone has anything.
No.
Citizen participation. Anybody? Board comments. Charles?
I'd like to congratulate the Oklahoma State football program on their win this last weekend.
Miles?
I'll just glare at that statement. Cheap.
For the last 6 years, Miles, for your Astros.
That's true.
All right. New business.
You gotta be hating Phillies.
It's terrible. It's like
Motion to adjourn.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Del Murphy. I mean, come on. I had buttons and then they disappeared. Oh. Awesome. I knew it was going too fast. Yeah, right? I guess
Who won last night in the baseball game? Really?
Then past time, call PBA advisory to order. Notice the meeting was posted on October 20th. Item 1 is to approve the minutes of October 10.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 2 is an update on our ICB exterior envelope project.
there's nothing there.
No action unless you all have questions. 3 is the replacement of the camera system in ICB.
I think items 3 and 4, we're waiting from the sheriff's department, for the sheriff's department to give us updates with our options. And I believe that might encompass item 5 as well.
Okay. Do you have questions of Keith on any of those items?
No.
Otherwise, no action on
No.
each. 6, discussion possible action providing additional security and metro parking.
We've completed our second week using Goodwill Industries. I've been getting daily reports. The first week was terrible. It was abysmal. The second week showed great improvement. I have a small statement prepared by the office staff that outlines where we started and the trajectory we're moving towards.
Is there a motion to receive Keith's document?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Keith.
Your employees or the Goodwill employees? All employees.
Last paragraph, overall, things are trending upward in a good direction. There has been a slowdown, although not a complete stoppage, of certain activities in the garage, such as graffiti tagging, homeless using bathrooms that aren't there, and other activity inside the parking garage. But again, I think we're doing a better job here, and I had serious doubts whether or not this program was going to be successful. So much so that I alerted Chantel on day one. So we've continued to improve, and once they put the right people in position, I think we'll fare better here.
Okay, questions of Keith? Motion to receive his update?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. 7 is discussion possible action regarding ARPA capital projects. Keith? As of now, we don't have any.
No, the ARPA projects that were submitted through the portal had to do solely with elevators, and since that was sidelined, I don't think there's any action there.
All right. Questions? All right, no action. 8 is discussion possible action to receive an update on our drug lab in the ICB.
Compliance Resource Group, Jim Tidrow, came in and signed a lease for the space they occupy on the 5th floor and delivered a check for the first month's rent beginning November 1st, and you'll see that on the PBA agenda next for approval.
Is that contrary to, okay, Mr. Compton?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, citizens' participation?
Mr. Chairman, just want to introduce you to a new engineering employee, Daniel Sanchez.
Hi, Daniel. Welcome.
Stacy, you're not a citizen.
I know, but I didn't know when to do it.
Okay.
I love bringing that up because Gretchen loves that.
We're all citizens of something, right?
What? Eve
Okay.
lives in the.
All right, Miles, you get to go first.
Let's go Astros. There you go.
Charles?
No
None?
comments.
No predictions on K-State, Oklahoma State?
Right.
No.
You're an underdog the second week in a row?
It works where they wear it well.
Go Pokes, yeah, right. Okay, new business. Adjourn.
So move. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Two.